living is giving. Guys, the key to getting is giving. You have to publish. You have to speak to the public, because that's how you get the publicity that you so very much need, that we so very much need. I love it, Manny. Look at Manny. Man, you look like a senator. Come on. Come on, buddy. Let's talk about it. He branded like a leader times 10. Let's go. Talk about it, Manny. Just say something for the people. Say something for the people, man, about that publicity.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're about to go to a video shoot, man. You know what I mean? I got my son over there. He dapper, man, you know.
Hey, little man. That's right. That's right. Little Manny. Let's go.
Video shoot.
Yeah, man. And so, you know, man, just trying to.
You got to put yourselves out there. You've got to put yourselves out there. So the next two P's that I was going to talk about, Manny, you kind of cut up. Would you like to say something? Go right ahead. All right, he's still kind of locked up. I don't know. Maybe he's driving too fast. Don't drive too fast, Manny, with the babies in the car. All right, check it out, right? So the next two P's, prospecting. Everybody's prospecting out here in these streets. Everybody's looking for customers.
No.
Okay. All right. Everybody's looking for customers. Everybody's trying to find customers, but this is what I want you to think about. Prospecting, you've got a spear. You've got a spear and you're trying to get fish with your spear. That's prospecting. And then there's positioning. Positioning is fishing with a wide net. That's what I'm talking to you about right now. I'm talking to you about fishing with a wide net through those three P's, through publishing, through public speaking, and through publicity. You're putting a wide net out there. You're dropping seeds consistently. You're sowing into the world so that the world can in turn yield fruit. Now, this is the thing. It takes seasons to mature. It takes seasons to be able to feed your family off of the seeds that you have dropped, off of the seeds that you have sown into the world. It takes time. So while you're positioning yourself for the win, you're still prospecting in the meantime. Another analogy for this is hunting and farming. So while you're hunting immediately and while you're going for the gusto in the meantime, and you're prospecting and you've got your spear and you're catching a couple of fish, because you're going to catch some fish. But what happens is if you get comfortable just catching a couple of fish, then you only get a couple of meals. And you got to keep going to hunt, and you got to keep going to the pool, and you got to keep sharpening your spear. And you never really make any wealth. You never get to contribute on a large scale because everything you're doing is so immediate. It's for the moment. There's no long term. There's no growth factor. Does that make sense? Is everybody following? Is anybody lost with what I'm saying? Good. So what I'm talking about is the long term. You want a net. You want to create a net. And the way you create a net is through that publishing, through that consecutive publishing. First book, second book, 5 years, 10 years of posts, all about the same thing. Forbes articles, Inc. articles, whatever your specific niche is, peer-reviewed articles, Michelle. Books, content. Yes, your articles can be repurposed, your school articles. So the second part of this book is all school articles that I wrote. Executive coaching for leadership development. I did this stuff for school. I did it for school and then made half of a book out of it. School articles. That's why I talked to you, what I told you about, Latrell, the work that you've done. The work that you've done is called repurposing. Repurpose and republish. Don't just give it to them to give it to them and let it be done. They're publishing. Why aren't you? They're monetizing. You're paying them. Why not monetize off the same thing that other people are monetizing off of? Who said it was only an article? Who said it was only an essay? If you're teaching, if you're providing a solution, then you should be paid for it. You should be compensated for it. On the front end and on the back end. On the front end and on the back end. So you put the small you put the small stuff out there. People have books of People have books of tweets, just tweets, sentences, 40 characters or less. They compile them all together and they got a book. And that book be $10 to $25 and they're getting paid. And they've published. So it's a revenue stream, plus it's another notch in the neck that you're building for the long term. So you don't have to continue to prospect because that stuff is tiring. I don't think anybody here is here because they want to work every day for the rest of their lives. That's not what entrepreneurship is, what it's supposed to be. Everybody's here because they want to buy their time back. I would hope. And if not, then you're coming at this from the wrong angle. You're supposed to be able to choose when you feel like speaking, publishing, prospecting, shaking hands and kissing babies. There's a season for that stuff. I don't know who flies into the winter. People try to fly away from the winter and follow the sun and live where it's good and then follow the seasons like that instead of going backwards and having to do things when it's uncomfortable to do them. But if you haven't positioned yourself correctly, then you're in a position of necessity and scarcity. And you have to come when people call you. You have to go to work because if you don't, you lose your job. And you can't afford to lose your job. So what I'm talking about to you is positioning yourself as an authority in the field so you can raise the price.